everyone, it's Evie here, and today I want to share with you an angelic healing session for what next steps to take. And I want to start by burning a little Palo Santo to clear our space and our energy fields, so we can start from a space of healing and cleansing, rather than allowing our fears and our doubts to overshadow the messages that want to come through today. So just envision the smoke is wafting around you, that it's surrounding you and your energy field and your home, as much as you're willing to allow it to cleanse the energy, clear the space that you're in right now, so that you can feel supported and like you're getting guidance that you most need to hear. So just close your eyes if you want to, and really allow the smoke's energy to really cleanse you. Any anger or doubt, fear that you may be feeling right now, allow it to wash away with the smoke. That it'll float up in the air, and the smoke is just whisking it away. And I chose a few crystals for this situation or occasion. So clear quartz. This is a point that I really like. It has sort of a natural point at one end, and then I guess it's carved. It looks more carved point the other end. And it is like really clear at one end, and then a little bit more murky, more natural looking at the other end, which to me feels like going towards clarity. So when things are a little foggy, when we start out and are trying to think of what next steps to take, and then they become clear. So we're just gonna envision this clear quartz is helping us find clarity and balance. That whatever steps we need to take next on our journey, no matter what the situation may be, that this clear quartz is helping us find that clarity, to be clear about what next steps to take. So we might be on this end right now where we're just not sure what to do next about a situation, but we'll make it to this end where things are more clear, and we'll have a better idea of what to do next. Just allow this energy to wash over you. Allow the clear quartz to help you find that clarity in your mind. That way you can figure out what next steps to take. And what situation do you want more clarity on? And think about that, so you can allow the clear quartz to help you with it, to help you figure out what clarity you need and help you find that. So just allow it to go from your crown chakra all the way down to the root and into the earth, to clear away all doubts, all fears, anything that doesn't serve our path any longer, that's getting in the way of our ability to think clearly. What do we most need to be clear on? Do you need clear answers about something? And do you have those answers within you? And the next stone that I thought would be really helpful for this session is apophyllite. It's one of my favorites. It's really sparkly. And this is to help bridge that gap between us and our spirit guides, guardian angels, whoever you feel called to work with. So we're going to use this and bring this into our energy field. And just call in our spirit guides, our guardian angels, whoever wants to work with us. Because it can happen a lot where we're trying to figure out what to do next in a certain situation, and our spirit guides are sending us those messages and trying to help us figure out what to do next. They're sending us little inklings of what to do next, and sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes we're not paying attention, or we're scared to hear what they have to say because maybe they're going to say something we don't really want to hear right now. Maybe their messages for us are going to scare us because they're going to push us out of our comfort zone. And they're going to make us feel uncomfortable for a little bit. But once you do that thing, if you decide to do it, you might find at the end of the road that it was worth it. That little bit of discomfort was worth all of it, because you're happy with the results. So allow yourself to connect with your spirit guides, guardian angels, whoever wants to connect with you. Allow this to really bridge that gap between you and your spiritual support system. Whoever they may be. They can be angels, they can be loved ones in heaven, they can be ascended masters, whoever you feel called to work with. And just trust that feeling. And trust whatever messages they have for you as we bridge this gap, as we allow them to come through and allow ourselves to really hear their messages. Because they do want to talk to us. They want us to have a relationship with them, and they want us to know who they are and learn from them. They want us to listen, even though sometimes we don't want to. That's just how we are sometimes. And the last crystal I felt would be really helpful for this session is rose quartz. Because when we're trying to make decisions, trying to figure out what our next step should be, it is really important to connect with your heart. It's just as important as connecting with your spirit guides. You might listen to what guidance they have for you. You might get that mental clarity, but you also want to tap into your heart and feel into what your heart wants you to do. What does your heart say your next steps should be? And just allow this crystal to open your heart chakra even just a little bit. We don't want to overwhelm you. So if you're not willing to allow your heart chakra to open, that's okay, that's your call. But if you're wanting to, and you want to allow your heart chakra to open a little bit, just let the crystal wash over you. Let its energy open your heart a little bit, even if it's just enough to feel into what step you want to take, what feels good to you, what feels right. It's so important when we're making decisions and trying to determine what our next steps are going to be, to allow our hearts to speak for us a little bit. Allow yourself to tap into your heart and feel out what you want to do. What is your heart's desire? And just allow it. Allow it to speak to you. Listen. Just take a moment. Listen to what it has to say. What is your heart trying to tell you? What does your heart want you to do? And take that. Trust it. So now I'm going to choose a number from Angel Numbers. And this is what our spirit guides, our guardian angels, our little helpers, whatever you want to call them, most want us to know as we're on this journey towards taking next steps, towards manifesting our dreams. What do they most want us to know? What next steps should we take? What guidance do they have for us now? So the number that I came across is 241. Your angels are guiding you to reclaim your gifts. Stop putting yourself down and see your talents. So here we are. So it's really, I think it's self-explanatory. Reclaim your gifts. What are those gifts? And have you been putting yourself down lately? It happens to a lot of us where we feel like, oh, well, I'm not good enough for that, so I can't do this particular thing because I suck. But that's not the case, and the angels want you to see that you are good at what you do and you are talented. So stop allowing anybody else to tell you otherwise, and stop putting yourself down and see that there's magic in what you do, that you are good enough, you are good at what you do, and claim that, own that. And that's part of connecting with your heart chakra, is knowing what your gifts are and feeling like, okay, I really like doing this, and that's part of what my gifts are, and that's okay. You don't have to feel like a fraud, and you don't have to feel bad for anything that you might want to do, that you might enjoy doing. And so now I want to pull a few cards from Angels and Ancestors Oracle card deck. It's one of my favorite decks, and I think I use it for all these videos, but I do have a lot of other decks. I usually just choose a deck based off of what I feel at that time. Like before I sit down to record, I think what deck will be best for the messages for this particular theme. And usually I land on this deck, but sometimes I feel other decks. So we're going to ask our guardian angels, our spirit guides, our loved ones in heaven, whoever we feel called to work with today, to send us some guidance. What do they most want us to know as we work towards taking our next steps? Or what are those next steps we need to take? What do they want us to know as we go on this journey together? So I pulled 3 cards. And the Strength card is the Drum, Dream, and Journey. So it might be, maybe you're connected with drums and you like drum circles. So this could be a message for you to do that. Is that one of your talents? That would be really cool to get back into that if you've fallen away from it. If you don't feel like you're good enough at playing the drums, I feel like there might be somebody out there who that is the message for this one. But it also says to dream and journey. And when we dream and we dare to dream, we figure out what next steps to take. Like if you have this thought of, wouldn't it be nice if I did this or that? And you just like daydreamed about it for a while and think, oh, well, I can do this and this and this. Well, that's part of how you determine what next steps to take, by dreaming, by allowing yourself to daydream a little bit and allowing yourself to feel into what you want. So our heart card is the Protection Guardian. Drop your shields, which is really important when it comes to taking those next steps, because we might have our shields up, especially around our heart chakras. This is something that I encounter a lot, where there are people, myself included sometimes, we close up our hearts because we're afraid of getting hurt, and we're afraid that what we want isn't going to work out, that what if this thing I want so badly just isn't for me. And so we put those shields up and we put up so many barriers and walls, and we keep people from coming in, but we also keep ourselves from doing what we love, from following our heart's desires. So the message here is really to drop those shields, tear down those walls and those barriers, allow yourself to feel into what you want, what feels right to you. What is it that your heart wants that you're not letting yourself want, that you keep putting yourself down for? Drop those shields and get honest with yourself. And our challenge card is Summer, and it says bask in joy and light. And that can be hard when it comes to trying to figure out what next steps to take. We might feel like it's impossible to feel joy because we're stressing ourselves out about trying to figure out what to do next. I actually pulled this card, I think, yesterday during my personal reading. And it can also mean that whatever steps that we need to take, they might culminate in something manifesting for us in the summertime. So maybe you're wondering when a certain thing is going to happen, or when is the best time to do something, or you're asking something about a time frame. Here we go, it's summer. It might be this summer, it might be next summer. So don't think that it has to be like this particular summer. It might just be like a summertime feeling. Maybe that feeling you get when it's summer has the answers for you. That once you feel that joy that you normally feel in the summertime, you feel that ease, that everything is easy and everything feels good. When you have that feeling, things will manifest for you. And this is really a challenge sometimes when it comes to taking next steps, because it can be scary. So we're being guided to find some joy and find the light of the situation. And that comes down to connecting with our hearts and allowing ourselves to feel into what we want, what brings us joy, what makes us feel good. And that will help us in finding our next steps, or just having the courage to take the next steps that we know we need to take. Maybe we already know what next steps we want to take or need to take, but we're scared to do it because of fear. Because what if? What if it doesn't work out? What if this? What if that? I mean, we can keep ourselves frozen and stuck in fear if we listen to all those what ifs. But we're being guided to really find the joy in things and connect with our hearts. Allow yourself to daydream. Allow yourself to feel what feels good and feel what you want. And so now I'm going to move into the energy healing and the channeling. So if you want, you can close your eyes and relax. And I'm going to close my eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay. You can just look at me while I close my eyes and channel some energy. So I'm bridging that connection between me and you and the spiritual support system, guardian angels, spirit guides, loved ones in heaven. I feel like that's really important for some of you. There might be loved ones who have passed on who are really rooting for you from the other side, and they're really trying to help you take your next steps. Take that leap of faith. So we're just channeling that energy and just take some deep breaths. I feel like that's a big theme in like all of these healing sessions is breathing. And when we get scared because the next step feels scary, it might feel too big for us, we might hold our breath a little bit and forget to breathe. But take a moment and just remember to breathe. It's so important. I feel like there are some mental blocks that are just keeping us stuck. That it is really just, it's in our heads, that we're just too in our heads. And we don't need to be. We can break those blocks away. All we need to do is say so. Say that you're done with these blocks. You don't want them any longer. They don't need to control you. They can shatter, they can break, they can wisp away like smoke. Let's heal those blocks. And they might not even be ours. Sometimes they're from other people, where other people might get in our heads and somebody else might tell you something of, oh, you should do this thing. And now you're stuck thinking, well, should I? Because that's the opposite of what I want to do. So don't let those people stay in your head. If what they're saying really goes against what you want to do, what's in your heart, you don't have to listen to that. You don't have to keep that block there. You don't have to allow it to stay. It doesn't have to have room in your head. So we're just removing those blocks. And remember the clear quartz. We're removing the blocks so that you may have clarity. Clear your mind. which can be really hard for some people. I've heard people say, I can't clear my mind. I can never have a clear mind. There's always thoughts running through my mind. That's okay. Clear it as much as you can. Declutter your mind even a little bit. That'll help. It'll make a difference. And breathe. Remember to breathe. I'm also feeling something in the throat chakra. It feels like it's hard to speak our truth. That it feels scary to say it out loud. Like, I almost feel like I can't talk right now. I'm at a loss for words, connecting with the throat chakra. We're just going to heal that. Forgive ourselves for the things that we wanted to say, but we couldn't, that we felt like we couldn't. Maybe it was too scary, or maybe we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. It's okay. It's all okay. It's part of our journey. It's part of our path. And whatever happens is okay. Even if it doesn't really feel okay at first, it will be okay in time. What is it that you want to say that you feel afraid to? Or maybe you want to say something to yourself. It doesn't have to be to another person. Maybe you're afraid to own up to what it is you want. That you know what next steps you need to take, that you want to take, but you're afraid to declare it to yourself, to the universe, to your spirit guides, to anybody in your life. You don't have to have that fear. It feels like this big lump in your throat forming anytime you even think about saying it. It's okay. We're going to break that apart. Allow yourself to communicate effectively. Drop those shields. Say it out loud or even write it down. I see like somebody journaling, that it's almost like I can't even journal because I feel like if I write down what I really want, it's going to put it out there, and that's scary. Like, it has to stay a thought in your head, is what I keep getting. That we can't do anything. We can't acknowledge this. We can't say it out loud to people. We can't declare it to the universe. We can't write it down because otherwise something bad is going to happen. It's the feeling I get. Nothing bad is going to happen. It might feel like a relief just to declare what you want, what next steps you want to take. So just allow that hard lump in your throat to soften and to dissolve. Communicate what you want. Are other people involved in the situation? If so, communicate. They need to know how you're feeling. They might need to know something from you about the situation, about steps you want to take. So it is really important to communicate with those people. We don't have to stay stuck. We don't have to stay in our heads. We don't have to save this information for the perfect time. There might never be a perfect time. Allow yourself to speak your truth. That's so important. And it feels so vulnerable. I just got this like really vulnerable feeling as I said that. That is so hard to speak. It's so hard to say what it is that we want, to declare it for ourselves. It feels like I'm spending a lot of time on this chakra, and that's because it needs a lot of healing. Because in the collective, there's a lot of issues around communicating as effectively as we'd like to. That we're holding ourselves back. Collectively, we're afraid to speak up because something might happen. Something bad might happen if we speak up. But it might not. It might turn out for the best if you speak up. And you'll never know until you do. I see yellow. I don't really know why. Almost like a daisy. I mostly see yellow and then I get this impression of daisy. So that might mean something to somebody, one of you watching. Now let's move to our heart chakras, where it feels like we need to protect it. But our spirit guides are protecting it for us. They're keeping us safe. Tap into your heart to discern what it is you want to do next. Don't close your heart up. Allow it to open. Allow yourself to feel. Maybe it's emotions that you feel like you don't want to feel those things because it's scary or they hurt in some way. But maybe you need to feel those feelings. Maybe by feeling them, you'll reveal what it is you want to do next. What it is that feels right to you. What do you want to do next? What is your heart telling you to do that your head has just said no this whole time? Just take a moment and sit here and connect with your heart. Even put your hands on your heart chakra. And ask yourself, what am I going to do next? What do I want? And allow your heart to speak to you. Listen to what it has to say. When you heal your own heart and you heal your connection with your heart, you heal the heart of the collective. You help the collective to open up the heart chakras. So listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. What is it telling you? What are your dreams that you've been ignoring lately? I do feel like there is some resistance, which is common, and that's okay, because it can be really scary to connect with our hearts and to allow ourselves to want what we want. It can be so scary, because maybe it's a new thing. And maybe our hearts are telling us that we want this thing, and our heads are just like, oh no, that's scary. Or maybe our hearts are just closed and we're not allowing them to open. And that comes back to the protection guardian, our heart card. Drop your shields. Drop all of those barriers you created for yourself, because you don't want to let people in, because you don't want to be honest about what you want, because you're scared. And it's okay to be scared. It's more than okay to be scared. But you have to acknowledge that fear and don't allow it to keep you from what your heart's desire. I see for some of you, like, an explosion of those barriers. Like, you did the work, you broke down all of those shields, those walls. They're down and your heart is open, and I commend you for it. That is amazing. Congratulations. And it can feel vulnerable, and it can feel like, oh no, I did this, and now I want to put those shields back up. I want to build those walls. Don't. Allow yourself to feel that feeling. Because when you connect with your heart, you are really tapping into something valuable, something precious. And just take a deep breath, because we can forget to breathe when we're vulnerable, when it feels like everybody is seeing everything, but they're not. Most of the time we're just in our own heads. We're stuck in our own drama, our own situation, our own fears. We're too busy caring about our own selves and worrying about our own selves that a lot of times we don't notice when somebody else is vulnerable. There might be a few people who do, but they're not going to judge you, and the people who are going to judge you for that, they're not your people, and that's okay. Just allow your heart to heal. It can be a vulnerable time, just connecting with your heart. You don't have to do this for anyone but yourself. This is for you. What do you want? What next step do you feel guided to take? What is your heart telling you to do? And listen to it. Allow it to fill you up with joy, if that's what feels good to you. Breathe. Don't Don't forget to breathe. It's so important. Exhale the fears and the doubts. Inhale joy. Inhale our heart's desires. Allow this time in your heart space to be a time to dream and journey. To come back to what it is you want. Allow yourself to daydream a little bit about what you want to do. That can provide such valuable information about what next steps to take. Maybe you're not going to take every single step that you daydream about, but it might give you ideas on what to do next. What is it that you really want to do? What do you enjoy? Tap into that. And now I feel like we need to anchor this healing, this energy into the earth. So just imagine roots going down all the way into the earth, into the center of the earth, keeping you grounded and connected, rooting this healing. You've done the work, and now we're anchoring it into you and into the earth so it really sticks. And we thank the angels, we thank our spirit guides, we thank our loved ones in heaven, the ascended masters. We thank our support system for being here with us and for helping us and guiding us. And now take a moment to really connect with them and let them send you whatever messages they have for you. What do they most want you to know? Do you have a thought that keeps popping into your head of something to do next, but you just haven't listened to it? And is that popping into your head again? That's your guardian angels or your spirit guides, whoever you connect with as your guiding force. That's them telling you this is what you need to do next. And listen, just listen to what they have to say. It's up to you whether or not you're going to take that guidance and apply it. Maybe you want to go on a different path than what you initially wanted. And that's okay. They'll recalibrate your path so that way you can go towards your new goals and dreams. Just spend some time in reflection, in quiet reflection, and think about what they want you to know, or what your heart wants you to know. Whatever you feel most connected with and drawn to. feel like some of you at least have found that clarity that, yes, now I know what to do next. Now I know what my next steps are going to be, and that's awesome. And if you don't feel that way, you still feel a little murky, you still feel a little confused, that's okay. It might come to you today, tomorrow. It might take some time before you realize what it is you want. It might take a moment to integrate these energies. And that's okay. We're all on our own path, and we're all just trying to do our own thing. And whatever works for you is what works for you. So I really hope this helped, and I hope that you gained something out of it. And also, I do actually feel the need to light up the Palo Santo again and just clear away any debris that may have been left behind during this energy healing. So we're clearing away the gunk that we just got rid of. Any debris that might be lingering in our energy fields. Anything that might be in our home that we don't need anymore, because we've been transformed even just a little bit through this healing session. And just allow the smoke to waft over you. Allow yourself to release that debris. Allow yourself to be healed and cleansed. If you don't want it, that's okay. Then this isn't for you, and it's not coming your way. But if you accept that energy exchange and you want the healing of the Palo Santo smoke, just trust that it's there, that it's helping you, that it's cleansing away that debris. I feel like a weight has been lifted from the collective, and it's awesome. So just allow yourself to want what you want. Allow yourself to feel joy. I feel like a lot of this was for me too. Like, I feel so much joy now. I feel healed, I feel cleansed. So maybe this wasn't just for you or the collective, maybe it was for me too. And that's how I decide what sessions to record, what themes I want to talk about, is what I need. So maybe I'm recording these for me just as much as I am for you. So I definitely feel better. I feel a shift. I feel like we got what we need from this. And just remember, take what you resonate with and leave the rest. If you feel like you only resonated with one piece of this session, that's okay. Take that and run with it. You don't have to listen to the rest. And if you want to come back to this video, you are more than welcome to. It's not a one-time deal. It's whenever you feel like you need help on what next steps to take, come back, and maybe you might resonate with a different piece of this session the next time. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I do. I feel relaxed. I feel changed. I feel like I have an idea of what I can do next, and And it feels good. And I feel like I can connect more with the joy and light of the situation rather than feeling fear or anxiety or letting anything else kind of block me from what next steps I want to take. And it feels awesome. So thank you for allowing me to serve you with this session today. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.